Good afternoon. Am I audible? Am I visible? So, from today onwards till the month end, my class will be from 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. And the NCERT compilation, that is like 2 o'clock and or 8 o'clock. So, I have changed the timing 2 or 8. So, that will be updated accordingly. Sometimes you get class on 5 o'clock also, but mostly it will be on 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Till this month till this month. Am I audible? Am I visible? See, I'm not telling you surely it will be on 2 o'clock, but 2, 5 or 8. So that will be the timing. Anyway, there will be a change of timing for the YouTube classes. So we'll begin the section right now. Hope I'm audible and I'm visible to you. If you're facing any technical error in between, let me know that. Let's crack UPSC CSE English. This is a channel name. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please do subscribe the channel for latest updates and notification. Welcome to India's largest online platform where you're able to access the top educators at a single destination. About me, I'm Liyamol Biju. I completed my Master's in English, Bachelor's of Education in English. Currently, I'm a research scholar and experience as a career counselor and more than 3 years of teaching experience. This is my Telegram channel link. You can follow me on the channel. Also, this is my link on Unacademy profile. So that is, it is given as Army's Pomodoro. Check either Army's Pomodoro or Liyamol Biju Unacademy. You can join the group where I'll be updating about the classes, notes, everything will be provided over there. And what you get daily live classes, live tests, quizzes, structured course, unlimited access. What is this unlimited access? Once you are enrolling into any of our courses, you are able to access n number of time. There is no restriction for it. Join the group where I'll be updating about the class. Yeah, good afternoon. So you can download the Unacademy app from Google Play Store or from App Store. This is what we offer. We offer you the comprehensive syllabus like polity and IR, history, current affairs, geography, optional courses, Indian economy, science and technology, environment and ecology, practice strategy, art and culture, NCERT summary, answer writing courses. So these are all what we are offering you. And so this is get UPSC CSE subscription plans like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months and 12 months. You get a fees waiver of 10% while applying the user code BIJU, and 26th of the October we start our new class, and from 24th onwards there will be a fees hike after 24th. So use my user code BIJU and get a fees waiver. So about the new classes which I am planning in the Unacademy app, that will be starting from today, that is 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. is the timing of the app. I'll be sending the link in the group, or you can search Liyamol Biju, my name, or Ancient History. The course name is Ancient History through MCQ Lesson 1 Early India. You have to write till much this and have to search, or simply you can search my name in the app Liyamol Biju. So you get all the details of my classes. You can follow me over there for the latest updates. So don't miss the class today. Yeah, this is free. This is a free class which start from 5 o'clock to 6 p.m. This is a free class, okay? I think many are confused because of my change of timing in class. Done. So we are continuing with yesterday's portion, that is sender-state relations. What are the things we left with? We left with two commissions, that Circadia Commission and Punji Commission of sender-state relation. And this is very important. Why this is very important? We are going to see it in the form of mains perspective today. We were all discussing the things at what? Film's point of view. Along with that, we will be discussing the things in mains point of view. So what is Circadia Commission? So this is the first commission or second commission. This is a commission which has been appointed by the government to study about the sender-state relations. This was like, why this was being changed? This was changed because of a political confusion was being going on in the entire places. A political turmoil or a political commission or a political change was being part of the thing. So the entire process was in problem. So first we'll see the report of Circadia Commission. Report of Circadia Commission. Is it enough for your prelims or your mains? That is something very much needed for your mains perspective. In prelims perspective, you just get a question what you means related to the Circadia Commission, when it is started, etc. So which is a year when? We'll start with the basic thing. When did the Circadia Commission came into be, or when did it start? Someone can reply it. When did Circadia Commission started, or when did it came into be? When did it came into be? The Circadia Commission has started in 1983 for the first time. Circadia Commission began in 1983 for the first time. I think there is some problem with the writing pad. Wait. Wait for a while. We'll start. Okay. Circadia Commission is a commission which was to study the sender-state relation when started in the year 1983. This was a three-member committee. And it was under the chairmanship of R.S. Circadia. Okay, Circadia Commission was not because it was something related to Sarkar, but it was a name of the person who was the chairperson of it, R.S. Circadia. He was a retired Chief Justice of the thing. So, what is it? It was why this commission has been. There was always a struggle for what? There was always a struggle between the political and tensions between center and state relation, and its sharpness, it became necessary to ease the situation. In this context, India announced to appoint a commission to examine and review the weakness between the center and state. See, we discussed yesterday what was happening in the center and state. The center and state was always with problem, one problem over other problem, one problem over other problem. That was a condition of it. And we see what was the relation, financial relations of the center state affairs, what is the role of governor, and many things we studied, when many things we discussed, right? So So what is important to study when about the Circadia Commission? It is a report of Circadia Commission. Okay, this commission is lately come to known as State Central Commission and is known as Circadia Commission. We are going to see important report of the Circadia Commission. The report was submitted on 27th October 1987. Now this is a month of October. We are discussing upon sender-state relation, right? I don't know what's happening with this writing pad. Wait for a while. Let me correct it, okay? Might be because of overuse. No, it's something electronic notes. Nothing can happen like that. Yeah, fine. There was a small error in the way I connected. Fine. So, in between any doubt, you can message me. Thank you. See, I think many of them didn't join today because I changed the class timing in a bit. Might be. If it is like that for your comfort, I may take it by 8 o'clock also night. But I am very fed up because many classes, right? So, why? What is the main important? It was to safeguard the sender. Always to safeguard the sender was the main reason of it. See, whatever the points we are discussing here, make a note on it. Okay. The report was submitted on October 27th, 1987, and the commission has favored a strong relationship. It was only as the only safeguard to national integrity. Why it was being the only safeguard to the national integrity which was being threatened, solely in the light of recent vociferous tendencies. See, whatever I am detecting is important. You write a note on it because this is going to help you to write your mains. Write it like this itself. The Circadia Commission, in its report submitted on October 27, 1987, the Commission favored a strong sender. So, what is the main report? It was telling that you need a strong sender as the only safeguard to the national integrity, which was being threatened severely in light of recent vociferous tendency in the body politics. But the Commission did not equate strong sender with centralization of power. In fact, it viewed centralization, the committee viewed the centralization as dangerous for national integration. The committee viewed the centralization as what? Dangerous to the national integration. The Commission observed those in power at the center have been obliged to use diverse strategies and tactics which were not always sound from long-term interest to maintain their control over the state level forces. Many a time, the actions of center is discriminatory approach. Hello. Discriminatory approach towards some states, its lack of understanding of local problem, its objectives, insensitiveness, and the balanced misuse of authority, vice versa. See, usually you could not give the content like this. This is something which is being prepared for the app for the main content, but I thought, okay, we'll main thing. So mains point, you write it. I hope you have written it down. You have noted it down like that itself. I didn't simply give you the note. Yeah, it will be helpful for the mains thing. So we are going to discuss what I have mentioned you, what I have given you. Okay, Circadia Commission. It was appointed in 1983. So the report was mainly telling that it was concentrated on the observation of the central politics, decentralization. What was it telling? It never wanted a sender. That has been diverse strategies, tactics were being given. So the committee recommended for a strong sender, right? But what is it? The strong sender is there, but the strong centralization, the committee opposed it. So we see this is a basic idea. This is a crisp of the report, what I have mentioned you. Just that's enough. Now we see it. How many times Punji Commission was being represented? 2 times. Okay, we'll see what is the 2 times when Punji Commission has to come to limelight. So important recommendation of Circadia Commission. Note it down. More extensive and generous use of Article 258. The Commission mentioned about Article 258, that is to use it more in the way. So any move, and it also mentioned something upon All India Commission, All India Services, which we discussed yesterday. What is this? According to that, All India Services, you should not make any move to what? Cut down the All India Services. That is a other recommendation which is being given. So what is it? The other recommendation is residuary powers. Residuary powers of taxation will be remained with the Parliament. Okay, residuary power will concentrate with the center itself. This is another report. This is a recommendation of the report. And see, more than explanation, you have to note down the points. Residuary powers of taxation to be remained with the Parliament, while other residuary power to be placed in concurrent list. The reason why the President withheld the state bill be communicated to the state government. So residuary powers will remain with the central government, the Parliament itself. See, these are all main point. I know I am taking an NCERT series. Then why I am adding it? It was mentioned in the NCERT. So I thought, okay, we'll add something new also. Means apart from the NCERT. So that will be useful for you. It also recommended to develop a National Development Council to be reconstructed in the National Economic and Development Council. That is, National Development Council is there. It was already there. It should be reconstituted as National Development Council. It also recommended the reconstruction of zonal council. Recommendation of reconstruction of zonal council was also a part of it. So Central can deploy its armed forces even without the consent of the state. And it recommended that Article 356 should be used sparsely, means not frequently. You can use this Article 356. What is coming under Article 356? Emergency provisions. And it also recommended to form an expert committee from time to time, which can be consultation with the states. Okay, the constitution can be suitably amended to add the subject of taxation of advertisement. So when you are doing an advertisement, you can go for taxation. This is what it is being mentioned here. So other important thing which is mentioned about is 3 language formula should be applied to form the uniformity. To sustain the uniformity, you have to use it. Also, it recommended that linguistic minorities should be activated. Fine. I think Nandakam, Surya, okay, they might be watching this section evening, so don't think that, okay. So there are many students who usually join the section. I inform them, but I don't know what happened with them. No problem. This is about it. Now we are going to see another recommendation, that is Punji Commission. Punji Commission. When is Punji Commission has reformed? What is the main aim of Punji Commission? That was also to study the state and central commission. So that is a full major recommendation has been given. How many times Punji Commission was being there? Punji Commission was formed in 2007 and it was studying it. Punji Commission, M.M. Punji. Okay, this is a spelling. He was a former Chief Justice of India. So he was formed a commission to study about the things. So what was the thing? It took into the new central state relationship. You have to see the central state relationship. Means there should be change in the things. So it has mainly recommended regarding Article 19, Article 355, Article 356 and Article 263. So 3 things, Article 19, Article 355, Article 356 and Article 353 are being mentioned here. It also recommended on the economic and financial relations. It recommended whether the economic and financial relations. Recommendation regarding 73rd and 74th amendments. See, don't think that I'm not taking class, I'm not giving you what you mean by 73rd and 74th amendment. We have to deal it detailed. That is why. It also discussed about Naxalism, internal security, etc. See, allowing armed force in the state without the consent of a state in the case of communal violence bill. If something regarding the communal violence is going on, the central can directly implement what? Directly ask the armed force to be a part of it. It also discussed about water and environmental, rivers, water, minerals, etc. also being discussed regarding the environmental issues and what you have to do. So this is another important thing. Right? The other thing is, for the National Integration Council, the Commission has proposed that it should meet at least once a year. That is National Integration Council. Okay, National Integration Council is the at least once a year you have to meet it. Done? So this is a important highlights of the Punji Commission. There is another commission also was there to study the central state relation, that is Rajmannar Committee. Rajmannar Committee. This is a committee. Other 2 things were appointed by the center. This is appointed by a state. The state is Tamil Nadu. So to study the center and state relation, a committee was formulated, or committee was being asked by or formulated by a state for the first time, and that is Rajmannar Committee of 1969, where Tamil Nadu government asked they wanted to know what is the relationships between it. And it gave like you should start a interstate council should be set up. Interstate council should be set up. This is all about Rajmana Committee of 1969. Hi. So these were the major highlights of 3 committee. Selan, Ramesh, hello. I think some of them are missing. Fine. Did you get an idea about it? Yeah. Did you understand about it? Fine. Yeah. So this is a highlight of it. So this is a continuation of yesterday's class. We told that I'll have to discuss, it was more than half an hour. That's why. So 3 committees we discussed in fulfill. Now we are going to discuss another important portion. What is it? Amendment. So we are starting to see amendment. Fine. So what is amendment? What do you mean by amendment? A simple question. Anybody can reply. What do you mean by amendment of the Constitution? Which article is discussing about the amendment of the Constitution? Try to reply now. Which article? It is already given in the what? In the slide. You can just reply me. Which article discuss about amendment? The amendment is from Article 368, which is specify the power of the Parliament to amend the Constitution and procedure related to it. So that is, and another important word we have to, there will be no limitation on the constituent power of the Parliament for amending it by adding or removing the provisions made in it. So how many times is there any limitation to amend the Constitution? You can amend the Constitution n number of times, but you should not amend the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be amended. So how the procedures of amendment? The procedures of amendment is really complicated or simple? It is really complicated. Right? Selan, is there any net issue or something? So part, okay, is it not visible? Part 20, okay, XX 20 of the Constitution deals with amendment. See, these are the points, you have to write it. I have not mentioned it as of now. And under Article 368(2), the Parliament can amend by passing the bill in either houses of the parliament. So how many houses of the parliament is so Lok Sabha, we already discussed all these things, so I'm not repeating. Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha, right? 2 houses of the parliament are the Parliament can amend the constitution by passing a bill in each house. How? By a majority of total membership of that house, not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting. Who have to give an assent? See, therefore, the constitutional amendment bill can be initiated from either house of the parliament. Means it can be amended, started from the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, no issue, but it can be started from any house of the parliament. Okay, so once it is all amended, without the assent of president, it won't be an act. After all the amendment procedures have to be done, it has to be discussed. So we have discussed the landmark judgments of 1973 in Keshavananda Bharati case, etc. Right? Now we are going to see the details. The question is, how many articles are there in the Constitution? How many articles are there according to your knowledge? It's actually 395 articles are there in the Constitution currently. And this is a starting of the Constituent Assembly. When the Constituent Assembly started, it was 395 articles. Then the process comes and many section has been elaborated. Nearly 490 something, 100 more articles was being added like that. Means one addition something, 400, nearly 400 articles as of now, and one more articles is being deleted. Yeah, 25 470 plus article 65 place, total 470, 25 parts, 12 schedule, right? See, one thing might have been discussed, no, it will not be 470. One is being latestly taken away, right? So for not 470 total articles, because no, there are elimination right now. 2 amendments has been made so far. So we'll recheck it in websites and all. It is not given. That's why I also was confused. It means I was also not telling the answer. Fine. We'll recheck it because no, to the current scenario, it has been changed. 2 articles already being discussed. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, starting with the flexibility of the Constitution. Yeah, I'll move a bit fast. What is the time? Yeah. We'll see the flexibility of the Constitution. Is our Constitution rigid or flexible? The notes, what I am giving is very small things, but you have to discuss. Okay, rigid. Is it our Constitution rigid or flexible Constitution? We had a question. We discussed a question, but rigidity and flexibility of a Constitution is decided upon the amendment. Is our Constitution rigid or flexible? The rigidity and flexibility of our Constitution is depend upon how they are amending. If it is by simple majority or major, means simple majority or by majority, depends upon the flexibility and rigidity of our Constitution depends upon the way it is being amended. What is the specialty of UK? UK have an unwritten constitution. So, and since it is an unwritten constitution, the UK constitution is very flexible. Whereas Indian constitution is neither flexible nor rigid. Depends upon the situation. So why you need a flexible constitution? Why amendment has been done? So it was by Jawaharlal Nehru. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay. He was the person who told that why you need. So he introduced in the parliament why you need a flexible constitution. See, this is a comment by the former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. He said that if you make a constitution rigid, what happened? Permanent, rigid and permanent, you stop nation's growth. This is the idea of Jawaharlal Nehru. If you make a constitution rigid and permanent, you stop nation's growth. This is a reason why we choose between rigid and between flexible. So there are many arguments regarding the the theory of federalism, and why we want a federal state. So Dr. Ambedkar pointed out two things when we discussed Article 1 of the Constitution. You can see that. What is it? Indian Constitution is indestructible, means you cannot simply go out of it. Unlike the American Constitution, which is based on agreement, it is not based on agreement. It is something acquired and being a part of it. So we'll see the procedures of the Parliament. Minerva Mill case. So very simple lesson today. So seeing the procedures of amendment. Yes. Yeah, present till now 104 times till amended. See, total number of articles. No, we have to recheck it because recently some amendment has been made. That's why. So we'll discuss the procedures of the amendment. What are the procedure? What are the first procedure of an amendment of a parliament? First method is by simple majority. The amendment of a constitution can be made up by simple majority. First process of amendment is by simple majority. What do you mean by simple majority? See, the simple majority itself can be divided into two cases, that is text of the, see, write it, okay, text of the constitution is not altered but the law is changed. First thing is where the text, this is what is being given in your in the constitution. So write it like that, where the text of the constitution, where the text of the constitution is not altered but the law is changed. That is the first thing you have to do, and it is mentioned in Article 11 of the Constitution. It's something regarding to the Parliament Act regarding citizenship. What is Article 11? Something which regarding to the citizenship. To enact a law is it. And an act made in pursuance of the power will change the law relating to the citizenship without altering the text. Article 5 to 10. Okay. Article 5 to 10 along with the citizenship. What is it? It in between Article 5 to 10, the citizenship is being mentioned. What is it? without altering, listen, without altering the text, you can change the law. Citizenship Amendment Act. Okay, law is only changed, but not the act itself. An act, this is another thing which is, can write it now, note it down. An act made in pursuance of that power will change the law relating to the citizenship without altering the text. Article 5 to 10. Note it down, write it down like this. An act made in pursuance of that power will change the law relating to citizenship without altering the text of Article 5 to 10. No alteration. Then Article 124. What is it? Article still consists of, referred to the Supreme Court as consisting of Chief Justice and 7 judges. But in exercise of the power, the Parliament has increased the strength of judges from 7 to 25. See, the example, wonderful example is Article 125. What is the, in Article 125, it is mentioned that what? Supreme Court can consist of a Chief Justice and 7 judges. But in reality, the number 7 is being increased to 25. Did you write it? Did you got the idea, the basic idea of simple majority? The first one is without changing the text, law is changed. We discussed 3 cases. First one is Article 11 about citizenship, then Article 124. Where fine. Any doubt? Any doubt? Abhi, any doubts, Ellen? Ramesh? Hello, so anybody having any doubt, let me know. Any doubt? So these are the important portions. Okay, I have clubbed NCERT plus many things addition. That's why we are discussing it. So I thought, okay, let it be useful to your mains perspective, prelims perspective, etc. Okay, fine. Any doubt? Nobody's messaging. Fine. We'll move with the next thing. Now we are going to see where the text of the Constitution the second case is, we see the case where the Constitution is changed, only the law is changed. The second case is the text itself is changed. First one is formation of new states. So these are the cases when this is being changed, India Amendment, where the text of the Constitution is changed. First one is formation of new states. That is, while formation of new state means when you are forming a new state, you can change the text. Second is creation or abolition of Creation or abolition of Legislative Council. Extending the period of 15 years. Fixed for the use of English in Article 343. Formation of new states, creation or abolition of Legislative Council, creation of Council of Ministers for Union Territories. Okay, I missed it. Okay, extending the period of 15 years, fixed for the use of English in Article 343. Means what is it? So now you can use English as a language in the article, and it is fixed for the period of 15 years from now. You have to amend it. You have to amend that sentence itself. Means you have to amend it. Defining the parliamentary privileges. Defining parliamentary privileges. Salaries and allowance of president, vice president and judges. Salaries and allowance of president, vice president and judges. This will be coming under where the text of the constitution itself is changed under this 6 condition. First one is formation of new states, creation of new states, new abolition of Legislative Council, creation of Council for Ministers, extending the period of 15 years fixed for the use of English language, defining the parliament under article 105. Okay, defining the parliament is coming under the article 105, and salaries and allowances of the president, vice president and judges. Fine. Have you wrote it? See, these are all something very important. Don't want to think about it much, but this is all what we are discussing in right now. I'm taking time. I think very slowly I'm moving on today. So everybody was telling, yeah, I'm going fast. Today I thought, okay, we'll go slow. Not only because of that. The points what we discussed, no, write it down. There are cases which require, the first case is what we discussed is simple majority and the cases of simple majority. Second, what we are going to discuss, the point is something related to the special majority. Except those provisions which are amended by ordinary majority. So whatever was discussed in the special majority will be those things which, the provisions which are coming apart from the thing. So for this, two-third members who are presenting there should be voted, or each member or both the houses. Simply a special majority case is when 2 houses have to be passed, and in 2 houses 2/3 members should vote it or present and vote it. Also, such things should exceed 50%. Such things should exceed the 50% of total membership of the house. See, 2/3 of the members present should be voting. Fine. Plus, additional to this, The total members, 50% of the total members should be there. Exceed the 50% of the total members. This is a case of special majority. You got an idea what is simple majority, where the text of the constitution is used, where the text of the constitution is changed. Two conditions. The third condition is special majority. Second condition is special majority, 2/3 present and voting, and it also should exceed the 50% of the limit. Done? Wait. Any doubt? It's putting it for charge, that's why. Yeah, charge is enough. Any doubt? No doubt, we'll move with the third case. Let me drink some water. I'm a bit exhausted today. Fine. Any doubt? Anybody having any doubt, let me know. Fine, I think nobody is having any doubt, so we'll move with the third thing. Amendments that required special majority and ratification by states. Amendments requiring special majority and ratification by states. Amendments that require special majority and ratification by states. Amendments which require special majority plus ratification of states. What is that? See, those things which is come under the require special majority, which discuss the federal structure. So when a federal structure of the constitution is being discussed, for such cases, you require a special majority along with the states should ratify it. Ratification by half of the state legislature, at least by half of the state legislature. Fine. Write it down. Amendments requiring special majority and ratification by states. That is a heading. Amendments that require special majority and ratification by states means which all these provisions will be related to federal structure, federal nature of the constitution, which requires special majority in the parliament as well as ratification by at least half of the state legislature. This procedure is required in the following provisions. So we discussed, this is a heading. And what are the things? For what are the things you need? The manner of election of president. Manner of election of president, exclusive executive power of the union and state, Supreme Court and High Court related to the thing, distribution of legislative power between center and state, representation of states in parliament, and Article 368 itself. That is amendments requiring special majority and ratification by states. So condition, in which all the conditions this is being applied. The first thing is manner in the way, the manner or the way in which the elections of president is conducted. Write it. We are discussing for the mains, that's why. Manner of election of president. The first thing is manner of election of president. Fine. What is the second thing? Distribution of power between center and state. Legislative power, okay, plus state. The third condition is, we are using this, is Supreme Court. When the cases of Supreme Court, High Court judges, not judges, Supreme Court plus High Court, any structural change in this, you have to know this. And representation, okay, representation in Parliament plus Article 368 itself. In order to amend the Article 368, you require special majority plus ratification of the state. Done. These are the 6 conditions, not 6 conditions, right? Executive power of the union and state. I didn't write a fifth one. Is executive power of union and state. So these are the conditions. Are you clear with it? You have any doubt, you can ask me right now. Fine. Now we see this. Apart from this, the constitution is amended through constitutional practices. Like some practices, the constitution is being amended. Like in the judicial interpretation and all will be different, right? Such condition is being mentioned as an amendment. That is not direct amendment. This is like formal amendment. Apart from this, when a judicial interpretation is being given by a judge, a particular judge, that is being considered. So, things to be noted. An analysis of procedures by Article 368. That is, an amendment can be initiated in either house, but it have to be initiated only by the introduction of a bill in either house of the parliament. Only by introduction of a bill. You simply can't amend a constitution. Only you have to do is, you have to amend it by giving and initiating by an what? Only by introduction. You have to first introduce a bill. Then the bill have to be passed by each house of the parliament by the majority it requires. Each house it should be passed. If the case is not being passed in 2 houses, you can went for a joint sitting when either of the house disagree with it. The first thing, how to amend a bill. First, you have to introduce a bill. A bill is you have to introduce a bill in either house of the parliament. When the bill is passed by either house of the parliament, and from each house, the bill has to be passed. After it is being passed, what is there? If it is not passed, any problem is there, it can be having a joint sitting. After all this bill is passed, the president should amend it. If the president should ratify it. If he should sign it. If it is not signing, what it will be remaining in the pocket of us. That is, we have discussed about pocket veto. Now, so if an amendment require any provisions which is being related to Article 368, see something related to the Article 368, we are dividing it, we are changing it. What you have to do? What is the important criteria for that? If you are amending the Article 368 of the Constitution, you require what? You require the ratification of legislature not less than. You require the ratification of legislature of not less than the half of the state. Ratification of legislature is required when you are changing something related to Article 368 itself. Done? So simply you cannot amend a constitution. A constitution can be amended only by the procedures which is being mentioned in the Constituent Assembly only by Parliament, and the manner in which the election is the thing is being provided. So we have seen it. Now we are going to see the different types of majority. We see what are the things is required. Now we are going to see about simple majority. What are the mentions in the constitution? That is, simple majority is required, absolute majority, effective majority, and special majority. 4 types of majority can be required, or 4 types of majorities is described in the constitution. The first one is simple majority. I think I will write here itself. Simple majority. What do you mean by simple majority? What is simple majority? Majority of more than 50% of the person present and voting is known as simple majority. Simple majority means 50% of the person is present there and voting. That is known as simple majority. Like, okay, 300 members are there. They are present and voting. Then 151 members. So in a parliament, example is that there is 300 members. Simple majority, right? 300 members are there in the parliament. At least 151 members should agree with it. That is simple majority. Once more repeating, the majority of more than 50% of the present and voting. That means how many persons are present in the parliament? Like now in a parliament, in a meeting, there is 300 persons present. If that 300% is present, 151 should vote it. Then only that will be passed. That is a case of simple. So will be there. So most of the things like no confidence motion, Senate censure motion, cut motion, etc. has been coming under this provision, simple majority. That is all about simple majority. The other majority which is being mentioned in the constitution is what? What is the next majority? That is absolute majority. We discussed what is simple majority. I hope you got an idea about what is simple majority. Example also. Got it right? Present and voted. The next is absolute majority. What is it? Absolute majority. It refers to the majority of more than total members of the house. See, 50% of total members of more than 50% of the total members of the house. So currently it is 470. It may not be 470 because some amendments has been recently made. I'm not sure. Anyway, like an example, okay, you can take a small number. The total members in a parliament is, for my calculation, for ease of my calculation, 400. Okay, 400 members, the total members of the parliament. Then what happened? The total member of the parliament is 400. total membership in that house. Okay, in that house, the total membership will be considered 50% more than that is 400. Imagine that Lok Sabha having 400 members right now. So if Lok Sabha having 400 members, what happens? In this Lok Sabha, at least 201 or 203 should vote. It is in the case of both the houses, either it be Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So 250 is the members in upper house or in Rajya Sabha, at least 126 people. So the absolute majority will be considered as 126 irrespective of the voting. So absolute majority depends upon the total member of a particular house, more than 50% in the particular house is absolute majority. Even I don't like the part of amendments, but unfortunately the part of amendment is something very important. Right? Then effective majority. The other term which we are discussing is effective majority. Okay. Effective majority refers to the effective strength of the more than 50% of the effective strength of more than 50% of the house. Effective strength of more than 50% of house is being considered. So what is it? We will be deducting the absent and vacant seat. Somebody is absent, that will be deducted. The seats are vacant, that will be deducted. That is effective majority. Effective majority of the house means more than 50% of effective strength of the house is present and voting on. Out of total strength, we deduct the most absent and vacant seat. Absent plus vacant seat is deducted in the case of effective majority. Now that is special majority. Special majority means this is required in certain cases where 50% of the total strength, 2/3 of the members should be present and voting, and all these should exceed 50% of the total strength. We have discussed it so far. Right now we have discussed almost all majorities. Fine. So we discussed how the procedure of the Article 368 is. We have to first introduce a bill in either house of the Parliament. Then the bill have to be initiated by the either house of the Parliament. If it is passed, once it is passed, it have to be signed by what? The President. The President have to sign it. Unless the President is not signing it, it is not considered. Done? Any doubt? Fine. I think you got a clear idea about it. Now we see. So it is, I have mentioned that you should not rectify or you should not change the basic structure of the Constitution. Right? See, for your prelims perspective, I'm not giving explanation, but you write. Majority is discussed in the Constitution. First is the majority of the President. according to Article 60. No, we'll discuss this basic structure. No, we discuss the majorities discussed in the Constitution. Note it down. Removal of President, Article 61. But what is Article 61? It is he is being impeached for the violation of the Constitution. The shall okay, impeachment, Article 61. For that you require majorities. For removal of president, removal of president, removal of president, you require which type of majority? Article 67 is that you require effective majority. For the removal of president, you required what? You required a special majority. Whereas removal for the vice president, you required an effective majority. Removal of vice president is by effective majority. Effective removal of deputy chairman of the council by effective majority, which is mentioned in Article 90. Removal of deputy chairman, removal of the deputy chairman of the Council of State is by effective majority. Article 90. Article 90, effective majority. Removal of Lok Sabha Speaker, effective majority. Article 94. Removal of Lok Sabha Speaker, effective majority. Article 94. Then abolition of Council of State, absolute plus special majority is required. For removing the Council of State, abolition of the Council of States, you require absolute plus special majority, which is mentioned in Article 169 of the Constitution. Then removal of the Speaker of Deputy Speaker of the Assembly, effective majority, Article 179. Removal of Chairperson of Deputy Chairman, that is Article 183. Removal of Speaker or Deputy Speaker, effective majority is required, that is coming under Article 179. For amendment of a Constitution of via Article 368, to amend the Article 368 itself, you require absolute plus special majority is required. Absolute plus special majority. For declaring emergency provision, you require absolute plus special majority, which is mentioned in Article 352. Emergency provision, to declare emergency provision, you require special majority, that is absolute plus special majority is required, which is mentioned in Article 352. Right? So what about a private member bill? In the case of amendment, what is the case of a private member bill? A private member bill will be amended how? According to the government or according to the rules which is prescribed in the private member bill in general, they have to be introduced before a 1 month notice. It have to in order to amend, in order to pass a private member bill, that private member means who is a private member? Apart from minister, somebody is a private, somebody else is being passing, that is a private member. Okay. And so when a private member is passing a bill, they are a private member required to pass a bill. What he will do? In order to present it, he have to given before 1 month, and after 1 month in Lok Sabha they will be studying about, a committee will be formed and committee will be study about the private member bill. Then according to that it will be taken, and before that it will be included in the list of business. So this private member bill, I'm giving an explanation to the procedure of private member bill, how it is being passed. First, the private member bill has to be given in the parliament before, at least before 1 month you have to give it. Not at least before, 1 month before you have to give it. Once it is being given in the bill, it will be studied by the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha will be forming committees and Lok Sabha will be studying it. And it will be giving maximum guidelines to it. Then this bill will be considered with that of a list of business in the parliament. Then it will be considered, then it will be used. Fine. This is all about the thing. So we'll see. So many things you can't amend. What are the basic structure? You should not. What? When you're amending a constitution, you should consider about the basic structure of the constitution and you should not amend it. It includes the supremacy of the constitution. What are the basic features of the constitution or elements of the basic structure? Even though what is not defined it is the supremacy of the constitution, sovereign, democratic and republic nature of the Indian polity, secular character of the constitution, separation of power between legislature, executive and judiciary, federal character of the constitution, unity and integrity of the nation, welfare states, judicial review, freedom and dignity of individual, parliamentary system, rule of law. The basic feature of the constitution or elements of the constitution include supremacy of the constitution, sovereign, democratic, republic nature of the polity, secular character of the constitution, separation of power between legislature, executive and judiciary, federal character of the constitution, unity and integrity of the nation, welfare state, judicial review, freedom and dignity of the parliament, parliamentary system, rule of law. Article 14. So everything, and why I'm not going with everything, no, except we have discussed all these points in detail in the previous section classes. That's why. So basic structure of the constitution. Discussed about the supremacy of the constitution, sovereign, democratic and republic nature of the polity, secular character of the constitution, separation of power between legislature and executive and judiciary, federal character of the constitution and unity and integrity of the nation, welfare state, the concept of welfare state. Now, judicial review, freedom and dignity of the individual, parliamentary system, rule of law, harmony of balance between fundamental rights and directive principles. So, there should be a balance between fundamental rights and directive principles, then principles of equality, fair and free elections, independence of judiciary, limited power of the parliament to amend the constitution, effectiveness of access to justice, principle underlying the fundamental rights, powers of Supreme Court under Article 32, 136, 141, 142, etc. And powers of High Court under Article 226 and Article 227. So these are the powers, these are the situations. This is of basic structure. Any doubt you can ask me. So this is it. Now we are going to see some important amendments starting with Keshav Bharati case of 1973, popularly known as fundamental case. So what is Keshav Ananda Bharati and Mutt? He passed away recently. Keshav Ananda Bharati case. Which amendment? 1973. That is the first amendment what we are going to discuss here. Which year is Keshavananda Bharati? Yes, which amendment was it? Keshavananda Bharati case. So it is popularly known as supremacy of the constitution is being discussed here. Find it out. Keshavananda Bharati case. Here what are the things? Here it is being questioning the separation of power between legislature, executive and judiciary, republic and democratic form of government, secular character of the constitution, federal character of the constitution, sovereignty and unity of India, freedom and dignity of individual, mandate to build a welfare state. So these are the things which is evolved out of the famous Keshavananda Bharati case. So here what is this doing? He was the famous Golaknath case was re-reviewed here. The Golaknath case was re-reviewed here, and here it is studied the validity of Article 24, 25th, 26th and 29th of the Constitution. The validity has been discussed so far, that is Golaknath case 24th, 26th and 26th. It was being studied by, the case was heard by a 13 bench, and finally they come with this discussion. What about Golaknath case? Golaknath case was a 9-member jurisdiction. Was discussing about it. Here the verdict was overruling the verdict of Golaknath case. The verdict of Golaknath case was being overviewed. Here it is coming related to the 24th Amendment of the Constitution, which is 1971 is valid. The 24th Amendment is valid. Why Keshavananda Bharati went for a case? Why that case is related with? See, the Keshavananda Bharati case was like when the amendment made by the amendment of 1971, that is the 24th amendment, 24th amendment of 1971 was being questioned by Keshavananda Bharati in 1973 in the case, and it was being studied by a 13 bench, and they come to the what is it? He basically challenged the Article 26. So Keshavananda Bharati cases is like this. Keshavananda Bharati, he was questioning the legislation of which was being made, land reforms. There was a land reform legislation which was held in Kerala in 1970. So the Keshavananda Bharati, he is a person who questioned it, and he challenged the validity and challenged it under Article 26 of the Constitution. Now a 13 bench member decided to hear the case. They heard the case and they So this was being questioned and this was being discussed. Now this discussion, this case is coming along with the 24th Amendment Act. Then it also validated the part section of the 20 parts. First part 3 Constitution of 24th Fifth Amendment Act. Then it laterly validated the 29th Amendment Act of 1971. So this is all about the Keshavananda Bharati case. Might be have heard about what is a case. This is a background. See what happened with the Golaknath case. The Golaknath case, the Supreme Court told that you cannot amend the fundamental rights. But in Keshavananda Bharati case, it come to that you can amend the Constitution, you can even amend the fundamental rights, but the validity, the basic structure should not be amended. So these are the popularly known as the fundamental right case, where you get this much validity. This is the case. We discussed it. Now we are going to see another famous cases. That is, now another cases what we have to study is Indira Nehru Gandhi election case. What was it? Indra Nehru Gandhi case 1975. So someone questioned the validity of Indira Gandhi as a prime minister. Who was that someone? Was very famous also. He escaped during the, see, it was very, you have to know that that famous person, you try to find out the name. This is story, okay, behind it. During the emergency proclamation, that person was just, he vanished away somewhere, and during a session he appeared. Nobody still knows how he vanished, how he appeared. And when people asked him, no, yeah, I won't tell it. I will be taking it as an opportunity. And that famous person has passed away 2 years back. He was in the BJP ministry also. Who was that? Find it out. This is a background story. Election case of 1975. What is this election case of? Election case of 1975. The case is known as Indra Nehru Gandhi vs Raj Narayan. So Raj Narayan was the political contender against Indira Gandhi. So usually they stands in Raebareli. Even Rahul Gandhi standard there in Raebareli, and he finally lost the Constituent Assembly this time. So Indira Gandhi, that constituency was like a hereditary constituency. Indira, then Rajiv, then was Rajiv Gandhi stood for an election. Find it out. Okay, Indira Gandhi was so Raj Narayan was the political contender against Indira Gandhi, who took part in the election in 1971. So we are discussing the background of Indira Gandhi case 1971 about the Lok Sabha elections. Okay, what happened in 1971? Indira Gandhi stood in Rajbareli and he was opposed by Raj Narayan. What happened? Gandhi won the election and Congress won the house sweeping with majority. But Raj Narayan, what he did? He was against Indira Gandhi. He told that, he filed a petition telling that Indira Gandhi has practiced malpractices in the election. We are discussing some famous cases. First one is Indira Gandhi case of 1970. No, we discussed Keshavanda Bhadi case. Now we comes with Indira Gandhi cases. Is Raj Narayan went to the Allahabad High Court and he filed a plea that Indira Gandhi has won the election by mispractices. Okay. And what was the result? Justice, Jack Mohanlal, that was his name. Justice Jack Mohanlal of Allahabad High Court find out that Indira Gandhi was misusing the government machinery. And the court proclaimed or give a judgment telling that Indira Gandhi cannot continue as a prime minister. This is a background. This is a case of which they discuss about the free and fair elections. And she cannot contest in the election for another 6 years. What aggravated? So Indira Gandhi was a very aggressive lady. She was aggravated by the result and she went again for a plea in the Supreme High Court. In the Supreme Court. And during that time, SC being vacation for so since the Supreme Court was in vacation, it was a time period when Supreme Court was in vacation, it appointed a time guaranteed constitution, means it stayed that decision. What happened? Thereafter, a state emergency was proclaimed. When a state emergency was proclaimed, there is no need of the resignation. A political game, a political scenario of Indira Gandhi case. So this is what you want to know about the famous Indira Gandhi case. Citing an internal disturbance. So Raj Narayan. And the famous amendment of 39th amendment. Okay, 39th amendment was questioning this Raj Narayan vs Indira Gandhi. This is a famous case. Which was questioning the constitutional validity of 39th Amendment Act. Constitutional validity of 39th Amendment Act. Did you get an idea about what is the case is about? What is it all about? Fine? So fine, any doubt, anything you can ask me right now. Okay, you are clear with the case, right? These are the very important, these are the crux you want to know for your UPSC examination. While you understand the case, you go and read it, you get more on it, you get more scope on in this subject. The third case is Minerva Mill case. It was like limited the power of Parliament to amend the Constitution, judicial review and fundamental rights. This was being discussed. Now we see some other cases. Famous amendment. Some famous first amendment. Minerva Mill case. Okay. Now we see the first amendment Act 1951. What is it? Which allowed the state to form special. I'm just giving an idea, okay, not detailing, explaining the amendment under the first amendment act of 1951. What was it about? The act was telling that it gives special provisions for the advancement of socially and economically backward class. Special provisions for socially and economically backward class. Special provisions for socially and economically backward class. Right? Which also inserted 9th schedule. This is the first amendment act. Now we discuss the 7th amendment act. 7th amendment, which you want to know, is 1956. Just know the crux. What is this? The famous State Reorganization Act. By the 7th amendment of 1956 came the famous State Reorganization Act. Now is 10th amendment. 10th amendment of 1961. Just note it down. One point is enough. First amendment, 7th amendment and free Dadar and Nagar Haveli. Now it is being mixed into one, right? A mixture was being done, not mixture, it has been formed into one union territory. Dadar and Nagar Haveli was acquired by the free Dadar and Nagar Haveli was acquired by India, or it became the part of Union of India by the 10th amendment of 1961. Amendment of 1961. Fine. 10th Amendment. Then 13th Amendment, just required the crest. It was in 1963. Nagaland become a state. 24th Amendment. We were discussing 24th Amendment. 24th Amendment was just Article 13 and Article 368, which give a clear-cut idea about how a parliament can be amended. A clear-cut idea was given by the 24th Amendment Act. Then come the 25th Amendment Act of 1971, which added inserted 31C to the clause. That is enough. 26th Amendment Act of 1971, privileges of former rulers of princely states. Abolished privileges of formal rules of princely states. Then we have to require is 44th Amendment Act of 1978. Why it was so famous? 44th Amendment Act of 1978. So it has removed major discontents, major things which was being inserted by the 42nd Amendment Act. Okay. Then comes 52nd Amendment Act of 1958. Anti-Defection law. Anti-Defection. Another party after election is illegal. Anti-Defection. You are going to another. You win an election by the ticket of one party. After election, you resign it. You are going to another party. That is become invalid. 52nd Amendment Act 1985. Then 80th Amendment Act of 1976, 4th and 75th. We are going to discuss in detail. That is it. Then 80th Amendment Act of 2000. Revenue sharing between central and state. Now another amendment ban. What was GST bill? GST bill is passed under which Amendment Act? Find it out. An exercise. GST bill coming under which Amendment Act? 100th Amendment Act of Conclave. Exchange of conclave between Bangladesh. So these are the main famous amendment acts which we have discussed and which we need to discuss. Doubt? Any doubt? So have given this amendment, first amendment, second amendment, third amendment, fourth amendment, fifth amendment highlights. So which were the amendments which was being later repealed? The later repealed amendments include, the process started with 43rd Amendment Act of 1977, which removed restriction imposed on Supreme Court and High Court with regarding to the constitutional validity. It is being repealed. Then the restrictions and provisions which were introduced in the 42nd Amendment Act during the emergency. So when the Janata Party came to power, no, they withdrew. It was by Indra Gandhi. She acted many things and now it continued with the process of 44th Amendment. When Janata Dal came to power in centre in 1989, it repealed 59th Amendment Act through 63rd Amendment Act. Which empowered to form a internal emergency in Punjab. So these are the act which has been repealed in later stages. That is, the process started with 43rd Amendment Act of 1977, then discussed the 42nd Amendment Act during emergency, and the process was continuing through 44th Amendment Act. Done? So we are winding up today's section. We discussed amendments, important cases are being discussed here in the central and state relation. It is being given. Part 2 but we discussed center state plus amendments. So we are winding up today's sections. Mostly from tomorrow it will be 2 o'clock. The classes will be of 2 o'clock. If any change in the classes, we'll be letting you know. So join me in the app for 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. 1 hour section. Only 1 hour section where we are discussing ancient India through MCQ, and mostly that section will be continuing from 5 to 6. Fine, we are winding up today's section. Have a great day. I know I'm changing the time. Fine, have a great day ahead. Only few more minutes. See, one small thing, I'll be sending these notes right now. So those who are coming late and seeing this, watching it, let me tell you what's the entire section. Then only you get a clear-cut idea about it. Thank you.